What if a whisper of accusation could condemn you to torture, trial, or even death? For centuries, fear of witchcraft spread like wildfire across Europe, sparking dark trials, curses, and rituals that blurred the line between superstition and reality. Now get ready for a terrifying tale from history's darkest corners. Welcome to my channel. And today let's find out some scary facts about witchcraft in history. Number 5. Fear of witches in medieval Europe. The image of a witch has fascinated and terrified humanity for centuries. In medieval Europe, where science was often secondary to faith, people believed that witches used their supernatural powers to do evil deeds. This fear wasn't just confined to village elders. Even powerful figures were gripped by this paranoia. Pope Innocent VIII established the Papal Inquisition in the late 15th century, largely to hunt down and punish those accused of witchcraft. This marked a shift in the way witchcraft was viewed, moving from local superstitions to a crime against the church. The fear of witches was so widespread that entire communities were sometimes targeted. During the early modern period, the fear of witchcraft reached a fever pitch. Between 1450 and 1750, Europe was swept by a wave of witch panics. More than 60,000 people were accused of witchcraft, with Germany and Switzerland leading the prosecutions. Women were predominantly targeted, with over half of the accused being female. These accusations often stemmed from societal tensions, economic rivalries, and personal vendettas. Sadly, these accusations didn't remain confined to the accused. Families and entire communities were often torn apart by these accusations, with neighbors turning on each other in a climate of fear. Number 4. Dark rituals and folk beliefs. To truly understand the impact of witchcraft, one must delve into the realm of dark rituals and folk beliefs. While accusations of witchcraft were widespread, the actual practice of witchcraft was shrouded in secrecy. This ambiguity allowed for a proliferation of myths and misconceptions. One common belief was that witches gathered at night for their infamous covens, engaging in sinister rituals under the moonlight. These rituals were believed to involve elements of paganism, devil worship, and black magic. The use of herbs, particularly those with hallucinogenic properties, was another area of concern. People believed that witches used these herbs to brew potions that could induce insanity or even control the minds of their victims. Furthermore, the association of witchcraft with the devil led to the belief that witches could bestow good fortune or harm through the use of curses and blessings. These beliefs created a climate of fear, where everyday occurrences like a sudden illness or an accident could be attributed to a witch's curse. Rituals associated with witchcraft were also deeply unsettling. From the use of animal bones to the casting of spells, each ritual reinforced the belief that witches had the power to manipulate the forces of nature. Number 3. Witch trials and torture. The fear of witchcraft during the early modern period culminated in the infamous witch trials. These trials were marked by a disregard for justice and an obsession with extracting confessions. The accused were subjected to brutal interrogations, often involving physical torture. The purpose of these tortures wasn't necessarily to inflict pain, but to extract confessions or names of co-conspirators. One common method was the use of thumbscrews, which were designed to cause intense pain and force the accused to confess. Sleep deprivation was also employed, with victims kept awake for long periods to weaken them and make them more susceptible to suggestion. The infamous Salem witch trials in colonial America are a stark reminder of the hysteria that gripped communities. Between 1692 and 1693, over 200 people were accused of witchcraft in Salem, Massachusetts. This hysteria led to the imprisonment of many innocent people who were later found not guilty. Despite the eventual exoneration of the accused, the Salem witch trials cast a long shadow over American history, serving as a cautionary tale of the dangers of mass hysteria and religious extremism. Number 2, the Hammer of Witches, the Malleus Maleficarum. In the midst of the witch craze, there was a publication that played a pivotal role in shaping the perception of witchcraft, the Malleus Maleficarum, or the Hammer of Witches. Written in 1486 by Heinrich Kramer, a Dominican friar, this book became the standard manual for witch hunters throughout Europe. The Malleus Maleficarum presented a compilation of beliefs, laws, and methods for identifying and punishing witches. It propagated the idea that witches were inherently evil and that their actions were a direct assault on Christianity. The book provided a theological basis for the persecution of witches and had a profound impact on the conduct of witch trials. One of the central claims of the Malleus Maleficarum was that witches willingly made a pact with the devil. This pact, according to the book, gave witches access to supernatural powers, but also obligated them to serve the devil. The concept of the devil's brew, a concoction used by witches to harm others, was also popularized in the Malleus Maleficarum. The book described these brews as poisonous and harmful, causing disease and misfortune to those who consumed or were exposed to them. The publication of the Malleus Maleficarum coincided with a time when Europe was grappling with significant changes. The Renaissance was challenging traditional beliefs, and the Reformation was causing a fragmentation within Christianity. This atmosphere of upheaval and uncertainty contributed to the widespread acceptance of the Malleus Maleficarum and its impact on the witch craze. By providing a framework for understanding and dealing with witches, the book fueled the flames of fear and persecution. 1. The lasting fear of witchcraft. The repercussions of the fear of witchcraft extended far beyond the accused and the communities that persecuted them. It left an indelible mark on society and culture that continues to resonate even today. In the cultural sphere, the fear of witchcraft contributed to the creation of enduring literary and artistic motifs. From Shakespeare's Macbeth to paintings depicting scenes of witchcraft, these works often portrayed witches as sinister and dangerous figures. Such depictions reinforced and perpetuated the stereotypes associated with witchcraft. The fear of witchcraft also had a profound impact on gender roles and stereotypes. As mentioned earlier, women were disproportionately the victims of witch accusations. This persecution contributed to the stereotype of women as inherently dangerous and linked them to themes of witchcraft and evil. This portrayal of women as inherently dangerous had lasting implications for gender roles and contributed to the marginalization of women in society. Moreover, the fear of witchcraft played a part in the development of medical and scientific thought. The belief in witches' ability to cause harm through their brews and curses challenged the prevailing medical understanding of illness. Some saw these beliefs as a form of mass hysteria or irrational fear. However, others sought to understand the underlying psychological and sociological factors that fueled these fears. By studying witchcraft accusations and beliefs, scholars began to explore themes of fear, superstition, and the psychology of accusation. Today, our understanding of witchcraft has evolved dramatically. What was once believed to be a genuine threat is now seen as a product of historical circumstances and human psychology. The legacy of the fear of witchcraft serves as a reminder of the importance of critical thinking, the dangers of mass hysteria, and the need to protect against unfounded accusations. History isn't just in the past. It's alive in the stories we choose to remember. If you enjoyed this journey, hit the like button, leave a comment with the legend you'd want to see next, and subscribe so you never miss the next chapter of the past. Thanks for watching.